ladies and gentlemen, yesterday the Ultimate Arm Wrestling League put on an unbelievable show. Scotland, Edinburgh, Haymarket, Hype nightclub, and believe me, the place was absolutely jam-packed, full of unbelievable studs, mounting the Claymore, Giant Claymore, James Stewart in the house, Sean Patterson, the Highlander, David Bradford of course, Ted Wilson. There was everywhere. I mean, I have never in my life seen an event like this in Scotland. Unreal. Believe me when I tell you this was unreal, it was absolutely immense. Now, where they come from, I don't know. I mean, we had a competition in Motherwell just a few short months ago. Unbelievable competition, but you know, there weren't too many people there. This competition, however, wow, it was unbelievable. So many new faces, so many new guys, and Zloty tour winners. You know, 2019 Zloty winner, left arm, Roman, I think 175 kilos. The beast decimated the under 80 kilo division. Now that guy's going to be lurking around and pulling. He's going to take some beating, and looking at that sort of form, Tom Holland, James Wall, Adrian Popescu even, if that guy gets bigger, he's going to take some serious beating. There's a few Ukrainians in there, obviously a few Ukrainian imports come over, but he was the main impressive one. Sean Patterson, the Highlander Sean Patterson, came back at the Motherwell tournament. Been absent 2 years, he put on an amazing display. Then he rolls into town and gives David Bradford the shock of his life. Left-handed, David Bradford coming back from a big injury, Carlingford Island, January, 3-3, sudden death decider against Tom Holland. He came out second best, he got injured. We haven't seen him pull on his favoured left arm by then. All we know is David Bradford is telling everyone that his right has caught up. And believe me, when David Bradford says things like that, he means it. Now, unfortunately, the class, he didn't have Kieran Morrison in there. He came, but the rules of the nightclub was, sorry Kieran, no kids after 2. What did he do? He brought a tribe of 17 kids. So, we never got to see the former 86 kilo ARMGODS champion, Kieran Morrison, who's come out of retirement, but he looked well, let me tell you. He looked well, he looked ready, mentally fit, physically fit, and I'm sure he would have possibly done damage in that class. Now, let me get back to the right hand. So, sorry, Bradford decimated the left hand division. Quite comfortable beating Sean. The right arm came along. Now, I thought, okay, Patterson's left arm is his best arm. Patterson has been grafting on that right arm, let me tell you. And doing so, he's obviously put in the gains. David Bradford went to the straps, loves the straps. Everybody else does amazing with. Sean Patterson put the block on. He was being patient. He arm wrestled fantastically. David Bradford rushed to the pad, got his wrist compromised, and even though he ended up winning the match, he won it on fouls. Sean Patterson announced himself as being back on the arm wrestling scene. Now, what does that say? Well, we could argue that David Bradford's right arm isn't as good as what he said it was. We could argue that Sean Patterson is back to his form of 2015-16 and where he went to where he went to Vegas and did extremely well over there at the was never WAL competition. What fell through, but he's back anyway, and it's great to see the Highlander in amazing form. Now, James Stewart, let me talk about that James Stewart. I was building him up all day, I was building him up all week even. But James Stewart is an animal. Like, first hand, I know the man is an animal. 6'7", 24 stones, 22-inch biceps, and an absolute beast of a top roll. I hit him, I stopped dead, my wrist flopped back, I pulled my elbow off the back of the pad, cheated like no tomorrow. I went before the go, trying to put the nerves up him, test his character a little bit, swiped him, told him I was going to beat him. He growled at me. I thought, oh dear me, I'm in serious trouble. And then he proceeded to slap me to the pad, not once, but twice. So, we saw him against James Wall. He got decimated here in this very building in the back room. James Wall took out James Stewart. Now, some might say that, you know, James wasn't where he was. Well, James Stewart you know, he's not living up to the potential of being a natural giant. James Wall, however, he's got the antidote. He's got the kryptonite for James Stewart's technique right now. Unfortunately, I didn't. We saw when Mindaugas Dulskas over at the ARMGODS Wales, he didn't have the speed of James Wall and direction. Now, yeah, he can play into his shoulder, but James Stewart showed some potential there. He showed that he'd levelled up. He showed that he's got the potential to trouble these heavyweights. I mean, Mindaugas 135, 140 kilos. James Stewart rolls in at 167. He's a monster. What does that say? Well, it says to me that Carl Hutchinson, Mindaugas Dulskas, Stephen Sower, and the rest of the guys, they're probably numbered if this guy gets himself up to scratch. Put it this way, I'm fat enough and I've been promising for Good for quite some while, but after this weekend's display, you'll probably see me in the 78 kilo division myself. Novices, I'm not going to touch on too many because with that many I didn't even know the names. It was a little bit shaming, but I like the look of a guy called Mo. I think he was some Indian guy. He had his like turban on, big biceps. He Luther Raw. Only been training for a few months, but looks the part. Extremely aggressive, extremely powerful, and big potential in that 100 kilo class. Now Michael, and I forget his last name, he's got bushy hair and got legs like a flamingo. He's just won his pro card, so Dan Earthquake, get yourself on him because that young kid is an absolute beast, and yeah, he's going to take some beating. He saw 5 brothers, yeah, that's 5 brothers making their way over to Ireland, from Ireland, and the last name's English, so I like him, every single one of them. Even the mother came over, beautiful woman, had a little chat with them, very intense, very much behind the bars, great to see. Ireland are very, very well represented, and yeah, it was unbelievable, let me tell you. Absolutely unbelievable. So, it's out now on YouTube if you want to watch the full show. There's going to be a little part 1, part 2 video coming out for your viewing pleasure. Original Gordon James, my pal, is going to edit it all up for you and get it all done. And then what's going to happen, it's going to go on. I want your comments in there, who impressed you most? I want your comments in there, who is the real deal? Is James Stewart the man? Can David Bradford take out James Wall? Can David Bradford get up there right-handed? How far can Sean Patterson go? We didn't see Conor Sale pulling, but we saw the return of Ted the Elf Wilson doing extremely well on his left arm. I've just spoke to him this morning. He isn't sore, he isn't tired, he's ready for Canada. So ladies and gentlemen, short video, short recap, absolutely unbelievable event. Thank you to the Ultimate Arm Wrestling League over there in Scotland, sponsored by the Bodybuilding, no bullshit gym. That's what Martin Sajek tried to tell me. And yeah, guys, if you've not already done so, this is the only ARMGODS channel. Please like, share and subscribe it. And of course, get yourself over to armgods.com if you can afford to help us. Get yourself a package. The app is imminent. There's lots of stuff on there to watch already. But there's 30 videos in this tin, ready for your pleasure for when that app comes out. So please keep supporting as we keep supporting you. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Paul. Out. Take care.